Hey guys, Alex here doing another WrestleMania review. It's WrestleMania 26. This was the first WrestleMania I've watched live in a long time, actually. This was after I got back into wrestling. I watched this at a friend's house, and this WrestleMania had a very special spot as a fan because this was Shawn Michaels' very last WrestleMania match, and very last match in his career, actually. This was a retirement match. So, as a Shawn Michaels fan, like my entire life, I had to see this live, and I loved it. I thought this was one of the best WrestleManias I've seen in a long time. Probably up there with 24. Like, they're neck and neck. I think maybe 24 is a little bit better, but 26 just, nostalgia because it's Shawn Michaels' last match. So, but let's get into it with the first match, which was ShoMiz, with Big Show and Miz versus R-Truth and John Morrison. Basically, really, really short, pointless match. It had a few good spots, and everything, but basic stuff, nothing special. 1 3/4, maybe 1.5. Just really short, and no real point to put on the show. Like, really disappointing for what they could have done for the opener. Then we had the triple threat match with Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. This was the whole Legacy blow-off thing, like where the three members of Legacy were feuding, basically. And this match was just okay. I really didn't like it because I felt that instead of having Ted DiBiase or Cody Rhodes, try to break away, it seemed like they were just still trying to be a tag team, and like they teamed up on Orton the entire time, and like only at the very end did they actually like fight each other. So, and then Randy Orton comes back and takes the win, which I was fine with Orton winning, but I felt that I think there was like a perfect opportunity for someone new and young to get the push and get the chance to shine, and it didn't happen. Like I said though, it wasn't a bad match. It just wasn't great. It suffered from the typical triple threat match rule, which is either one guy gets taken out of the ring and two guys fight, and then reverse, or it turns into a handicap match. And this was basically a handicap match till the last last few minutes or whatever. But it was okay. I give it 2 3/4. Then we had the Money in the Bank ladder match. This was the 10-man one with Kofi Kingston, MVP, Evan Bourne, Jack Swagger, Shelton Benjamin, Matt Hardy, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Kane, and Christian. Let me just right now, way too many guys. It was good with 8, and it was I think the last we were like when it was 6, it was great. When 7 was really good too. 8 was all right, and then this was just way too many guys. Really clustered. It had some good spots though. One of my favorite parts. No, it wasn't. It was the year after this, I think. But it had some good spots. Like there was a few botches here. Nothing horrendous. I can't remember if this was the one that Kofi Kingston did the stilts. I think it was. Yeah, it was. This is the one where Kingston did like the stilts or whatever. That was kind of cool. Evan Bourne had some nice spots there. Everyone shined really good, but it was just so clustered that like. They get taken out and then like, oh hey, 5 minutes later they're back in the match. It was really, really claustrophobic. And I didn't mind Jack Swagger winning because I thought like, oh well, that's a nice surprise, because like everyone thought that Drew McIntyre was gonna win, and everyone was hoping that Christian or Matt Hardy was gonna win because they're the ladder match guys. But I think with Jack Swagger winning, it was a nice, pleasant surprise. And usually with the Money in the Bank, it's always a surprise who wins. So that was kind of cool. Although it didn't lead anywhere, it led to jack shit, and was basically by July, Jack Swagger was back where he started, which is nowhere. So kind of probably the worst Money in the Bank match, I think. But I don't know, you kind of got to look at it. I don't know. I don't know if 25 was worse or not, but this was a pretty bad one. Still, I give it 3.5. It's still, even if it's the worst Money in the Bank ladder match, it's still good. It still has the spots. That's what you pay for seeing the Money in the Bank. Then we had Triple H and Sheamus. This was probably Sheamus' best match in his career after this point. This was after Sheamus got that massive push and won the WWE title and then lost it, and basically people were kind of like wondering if Sheamus is really going to be the next big guy, and this really showed that he could do it. This was a really good match actually, I thought. I think they worked very well together. I think they had good chemistry. I think I'd like to see Triple H and Sheamus go at it again. I think that now with Sheamus improved, I think it'd be even better. Sheamus was pretty impressive in this match. I thought that he really did a good job, and I think Triple H did a good job of kind of putting him over. Although it would have been nice if Sheamus had actually won the fucking match. Again, But he did win over at Extreme Rules, so I guess it works. But, Triple H made that whole speech about how, if you don't win at WrestleMania, you're just going to turn into you're just going to end up being, forgettable. And it's like, well, look what happened. But now with, Sheamus, it kind of comes full circle now with Sheamus probably going to win the world heavyweight title at WrestleMania this year. So, what can you say? Kind of funny how things work out. Then we had CM Punk Rey Mysterio. This was really, really good. If it had gotten more time, it would have been a 4-star match, I think. I guarantee it. These guys just always had great chemistry together. I love seeing these two guys work together. I wish they would do it more often. Just great match. Really short, though. I think it was only 9 minutes. And, considering the fact that McMahon Bret Hart got 15 minutes, something like that, they really fucked up on that, I think, But it was good, and they actually had a nice long feud and had some pretty good matches at Extreme Rules and Over the Limit. So, but like I said, really good match, but just really needed more time. I give it 3 1/4. Then we had the Bret Hart Vince McMahon no holds bar match. This was just overbooked to hell. With the Hart family coming down and oh hey, we're actually not with you, McMahon. It's just you didn't need it. It was really stupid. But it's okay, they went in there. They wanted Bret Hart to get the revenge on Vince McMahon. He did. He put him in the sharpshooter. Vince McMahon tapped out. It accomplished its job. I give it NA, but really should have been a lot shorter. 15 minutes is I think it was way too goddamn long. Make it 5 minutes and not even happy. Maybe 6 or 9 minutes, but not this long. Then we had the first championship match, which was the world title match between Chris Jericho and Edge. These guys again worked together as a tag team. Worked great as opponents. They were great. These guys were really well done. I like how they really good at countering moves together. One part where Edge went for the spear and Jericho got him with the cold breaker was really cool. These guys really worked well together, and I like Jericho working on the leg, and doing just. I think this is when he did the old school lion tamer in this match too, which was really cool. But it was a short match too. It didn't get him a lot of time. That's a common complaint with most of these matches in this show. But they still did a good job. It was a 4-star match, I think. Really great. And I wish the feud would have gone further, but, it kind of got blown off after Swagger won the world title. Big mistake, I think. You really screwed the pooch on a great feud. Then we have the Divas match. The whole, 5-on-5, pointless match. Everyone just basically did their finishers, and it was over. The best part was Vickie doing the tribute to her husband, Eddie. That was really nice. I like that. Then we had Batista and John Cena for the WWE title. I actually liked this match. I thought this was a really good match. I think Batista and John Cena worked very well together. I liked Batista's character back here. This was actually a good Batista when people actually seemed to like Batista. So, wish they had done this character sooner before he was leaving the company. But I actually liked this. I thought they had a nice back and forth. They had a great amount of pinfall, false counts, I like the part where they did the Batista bomb, John Cena went for the leg drop off the top, and Batista come with the Batista bomb. I thought that was nice. That played off the SummerSlam match. So I think this match was very good. Not quite as good as the Edge and Jericho one, just because they had a more counter for counter move, But I still give it 3 3/4. Really good. Then we had obviously the match of the night: Shawn Michaels Undertaker. No disqualifications, no countouts, career versus streak. This match was everything that the fans wanted. Some people think that the 25 one's better. Some people think the 26 one's better. I intend to lean more toward the 26 one just because of pure story element. It had a great amount of build-up. And especially because I was one of those fans that thought okay, you had 20, so you don't need to do it round 2. And then they're oh, we're going to do it round 2. It's well, I was kind of against it. And it's but then as the time went on, if I lose, I retire. And the added disqualification, the build-up theater, the anticipation, the thought that maybe Shawn Michaels could actually win. I was excited for this match. I was actually wondering, is Shawn Michaels going to be able to do it? But, I think looking back, it was obvious that Michaels wasn't going to do it. But it was still a great match. These two guys just worked so well together. It's a shame that these guys couldn't work more matches together back in the past. Really is a shame. But I think that's one thing that made these matches so much bigger than life was because these two guys barely ever were in matches together, so that really made it cool. I think the ending was phenomenal, where Shawn Michaels defiant to the end, slapping Undertaker in the face, Undertaker just getting that, pissed off look and doing a jumping tombstone pile driver, which I've never seen in a wrestling ring ever. I don't even think back in the old days when Undertaker was just starting out, I don't think they ever did a jumping tombstone pile just insane. And bravo to Shawn Michaels and Undertaker for putting on a classic match. This was a match of the year, obviously, and well deserved. This was a great match. It was a 5-star match. It's a classic, and it's obviously one of my favorite matches of all time, just because it's Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. It's Shawn Michaels' last match. As a Shawn Michaels fan, I love it. I think it's probably one of the best matches of all time. I think it's one of those matches that will live on for years, like the Macho Man Ricky Steamboat match, and probably like Bret Hart and Austin at WrestleMania 13. It's just a classic match. All in all, I'll give this pay-per-view an 8.5, maybe an 8.7, just for the fact that it's Shawn Michaels' last. But it was really great. The main events were all good, but some of the undercard just really lacked that big match, and it suffered from the time. I'm glad they gave the main event enough time, but everything else feels like it could have used some more time, or in case of the Bret Hart match and the Vince McMahon match, less time. So really had to work on that, but otherwise it's a great pay-per-view. I honestly do say you should definitely check out this one. It's definitely worth seeing. This is probably one of the best WrestleManias in recent memories. Alright, that's it for now. Take care.